All right, let's talk about intimacy. When you hear that word, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For most of us, it's probably romance, maybe sex, but what if the real definition is way bigger than that? What if intimacy is a fundamental human need, something we can find in any close relationship? It's really about feeling known, feeling safe, and feeling connected, and it's something we all need.
But here's the thing, and this is a tough statistic to look at. Nearly 1 out of every 3 adults feels lonely. Every single day. Think about that. This isn't just a bad mood. It's a genuine crisis of disconnection, and a sign that we have got to get better at building these bonds.
So here's our game plan. First, we're going to look at this loneliness epidemic. Then, we'll totally redefine what intimacy even means. After that, we'll get into the practical stuff, the real art of connection. We'll explore how to build a shared world with people, and then we'll wrap up with the most important relationship of all, the one with yourself. All right, let's start with the loneliness epidemic. That 1 in 3 stat we just saw, it's not just a number on a screen. It represents a deep, painful feeling of being disconnected, and it has real, measurable impacts on our lives. It's so much more than just feeling sad.
The effects are physical. Research shows loneliness literally raises the stress hormones in your body. It chips away at your self-esteem, and over time it can actually change how you see yourself and your place in the world. So fighting loneliness isn't just about feeling happier. It's absolutely essential for our health.
So, if loneliness is the disease, what's the cure? Well, a huge part of the solution is in redefining intimacy. Because, let's be honest, one of the biggest things holding us back is this super narrow, kind of outdated idea of what intimacy is supposed to be.
And this just nails the difference, right? On one side, you have the common myth that intimacy is only for romantic partners. But the psychological truth is so much bigger and, honestly, so much more freeing. Intimacy is really about that feeling of closeness, of safety, of being truly seen and known by another person. And that can be a friend, a parent, a sibling, anyone.
And look, this isn't just a nice thought. It's backed by serious psychology. Robert Sternberg's famous triangular theory of love calls intimacy one of the 3 essential pillars of love, right up there with passion and commitment. It's that feeling of being bonded and connected, and it's a critical ingredient in all loving relationships.
The data here is pretty incredible too. When researchers look at people with strong friendships and family ties, what do they find? Higher life satisfaction, better physical health, and, of course, way less loneliness. When we expand our definition of intimacy, we just open up so many more doors to feeling good and connected.
Okay, so we get the what and the why. Now for the really good stuff, the how. Let's get into the art of connection and build a practical toolkit you can start using today.
We're going to break it down into 3 simple but seriously powerful practices. First, micro-openness. Second, ritualizing connection. And third, giving empathetic attention.
So what on earth is micro-openness? Well, here's the secret. Intimacy isn't built in huge, dramatic confessions. It's built in tiny, everyday moments. It's about going just 1 layer deeper than the usual script. So instead of the automatic, work was fine, you share something just a little more real. That small bit of honesty opens the door for real connection.
Next up, let's ritualize connection. Closeness loves routine. Those small, repeated things, that weekly call to a friend, that monthly dinner, even a shared playlist, they act like anchors. They send a consistent message. You matter to me. This connection matters to me. And that builds a real sense of security and belonging. And finally, empathetic attention. This one is huge. In our world of constant distractions, giving someone your complete, undivided attention is like a superpower. It's one of the most generous gifts you can offer. It says, for this moment, nothing else matters but you. So put the phone down, make eye contact, and just listen. The effect is amazing.
Okay, so once you start practicing those things, you can take it to the next level, building a shared world. Because the deepest connections aren't just about sharing our feelings, they're about sharing a sense of purpose and meaning. They're about creating a sense of us.
So, how do you do that? It's all about doing things that reflect your shared values. When you volunteer together for a cause you both believe in, or you start some kind of project, you're not just hanging out. You're building a shared story. You're weaving a bond that goes way deeper than small talk.
Now we've reached our final section, and honestly, this might be the most foundational piece of the whole puzzle. We're talking about the first relationship. Because here's a truth we often forget. You can't build a strong connection with anyone else until you build one with yourself.
Let that one sink in for a minute. If you don't know what you're feeling, how can you share it? If you aren't comfortable just being you, how can you let someone else in? The more you know and accept yourself, the more you have to offer in any relationship. It all starts from the inside out.
So what does this practice look like? It doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as journaling for 5 minutes, or taking a walk and leaving your phone at home on purpose. Or maybe just pausing once a day to ask yourself that one simple question: what am I really feeling right now?
So, if you remember one thing from all this, let it be this. Intimacy is not some rare, magical thing you have to search for. It's not locked away in romantic relationships. It's everywhere. It's waiting in your friendships, in your family, and in the way you show up for yourself. You have the power to create more of it, starting this very moment.
And that really just leaves us with one final question to carry with you. When you think about your life, your connections, and your own inner world, where will you choose to build a little more intimacy today?